Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I have another reverse color along for you from World of Flowers, and today we're going to be coloring this wallpaper page. So meet me on the other side and let's get started. Before we get started, I wanted to apologize to you guys for being kind of absent for the last month. The month of June just kind of blew up on me and I had so much stuff going on. I just didn't have any time to record anything, let alone even doing any personal coloring. So this will be probably the first video in 4 or 5 weeks maybe. So if you're still around, thank you for sticking with me. Okay, so as I said, this page today is from The World of Flowers by Johanna Basford. I don't know what page number it is. And I say that because I've had pages fall out of this book. So I honestly can't tell you what the page number is. I just know if you look, it's closer to the back than the front. I just call it the wallpaper page generically. So with this page, here is our coloring cheat sheet. And you can see here, I just put yikes, I'm not sure for the page number. I am using the Prismacolor Premier set of 150, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 colors. I know you are so excited to hear me count. It's a limited palette. I'm just mixing up these colors to create these combos below. And it's really pretty easy because all of the leaves are one combo here. All of the stems are just straight up French gray 50%. And the background is 3 colors. And we're gonna color this like we did the sky tutorial out of the Hannah Carlson book a couple months ago. But everything else, these 5 combos are super easy, and these are all of your flower combos. One thing I wanted to add, feel free to create even more combos than just the ones I'm presenting here. You can mix and match these colors, put them in any order you want to. Like if you wanted to yank out the rose pink and just do beige to cadmium orange hue, go for it. This is just a starting point for you. And also because the background is its own combo here, you won't see any background colors down here. All right, with that, let me get my supplies and we'll get started with combo number 1. Combo number 1, rose pink, cadmium orange hue, processed red, burnt ochre. The burnt ochre is almost hidden down there, so even if you wanted to drop it, you could just bring the processed red all the way down to the bottom. But this is the combo I used both on this big flower here, as well as this flower right up here. So let's come over to this page here, and let's try to color one of these flowers. All right, I've picked this flower right here, this petal. So we're gonna start out with the rose pink. Cadmium orange. And you can see I'm just following an arch here. I'm following the shape of the petal. Processed red. And then at the very bottom, burnt ochre. Okay, so y'all know my routine. I like to go the top color down to the bottom color. Usually it's light to dark, but in this case, the intensity is kind of the same on some of these. So we're just gonna go bottom back up to the top. So what I did was I added extra layers to darken the burnt ochre, and now I'm going to bring in the processed red. I'm just making little circles. Cadmium orange. Rose pink. And you can actually use the rose pink to kind of burnish to get rid of some of any white specks that are still showing through. But you can see it's not perfect as far as how I blended it, but it's a nice graduation from this light pink down to this burnt ochre. So that's combo number 1. And with that, I will get some pencils and we'll do combo number 2. Combo number 2 is beige, rose pink, and cadmium orange. And you can see it on this flower here, beige, rose pink, and then the cadmium orange at the very tip. So let me find a flower over here and I'll zoom in for you. We're going to start with this petal right here. And I'm going to do like I did on the opposite page. I'm going to put the beige at the bottom. And then I'm just, for the sake of example, I'm going to color over this line here. Here's rose pink. Whoops, I forgot my beige right here. And then we'll add the cadmium orange at the top, and this just kind of sets that petal on fire a little bit, I think. It's really pretty. I like it with this combo. And the rose pink kind of cools off the heat from the beige and the orange. You can see here, this pencil is smearing some of the illustration lines, and that's kind of a pet peeve I have in some of these books. And I know there are ways to apply or treat the page so that won't happen, maybe with fixative beforehand. So do as I say and not as I do. Okay, with that, that's combo number 2. I'll be right back with combo number 3. Combo number 3, we have beige, rose pink, and processed red, which you can see here are all of these little flowers. You'll see the beige, rose, pink rose, and the processed red. So we will do this on the opposite page. Okay, we're going to use this petal here, and I'm going to start with the beige, this time at the top of the petal. And this is very pretty. I like this combo because it's very pink. And I really like pink. Oops, don't worry about that. Y'all know I always color out of the lines. Okay, there's combo number 3. Now remember, the fun thing about these combos is you can move your lines. You could do like 2/3 of the petal beige and just tuck the rose pink and the processed red at the very bottom, or you could do quite the opposite and bring up this rose pink and the processed red and just do like a thin line of the beige. So just have fun with it and play with different combos or different styles there. Combo 4 is beige, cadmium orange, and burnt ochre. And you can see I'm using that combo here on this part of this plant. So beige, cadmium orange, and the burnt ochre at the very bottom. So let's get started on that. Okay, we're going to use this flower right here. I'm going to put the beige on the outside. And I like this combo because it's very warm. Cadmium orange. Burnt ochre. And don't worry if you get some of these little spaces. Sometimes it's hard to tuck your pencil and your color in those little spaces, but don't beat yourself up. So there you go. It's that easy. That's combo number 4. And you could even take one of the other combos and make that this little spot here on this flower. All right, let's get to our last flower combo, combo number 5. Combo 5 is rose pink, processed red, and burnt ochre. And you can see that combo here on these flowers. So it's rose pink and processed red, and the burnt ochre is just very tiny around the center of the flower there. So let's color that on the opposite page. Okay, we'll start out with rose pink. We'll do this guy right here. Processed red. Burnt ochre. And like I said, you can just add it at the very bottom. You don't even have to go this far up with it. What you can do is take your processed red and bring it down over that burnt ochre. And you can see where I'm covering the burnt ochre, how it gives it more of an orangey kind of hue there. It's really pretty. That's why I always encourage y'all, just play with these colors. Again, this is just a starting point for you. I'm gently pulling the processed red up to the top, and then we'll finish it off with the pink rose. Okay, that is combo 5 for our flowers. That's our last flower combo. Now you might say, Kim, what do I do for the outline? Well, if it were me, I would probably take processed red on this one and just outline with processed red, or you can just pick any color, but I don't think I would do anything blenderly here. I would just pick a straight color and go for it. So you get the idea. So that's number 5. I'm gonna come back with the leaf combo. I'll be right back. So when I was coloring this page, I decided to make all the leaves the exact same color. And sometimes less is more. And so by doing that, by making all of the leaves with the same combo, it really kind of fades the leaves into the background and makes your flowers pop more. If you did different combos on your leaves, it might compete with all of your different flower combos. So I tried to just use the same combo everywhere. And it's a real simple combo. It's just 10% French gray, Celadon green, and dark green, also with a little black. So there's 4 colors. I'll be right back. Okay, so we're gonna color this leaf right here. So I'm gonna start out with the 10% French gray, and then move to the Celadon green. And bring that up a little bit into the French gray you just colored. And now as you come further down the leaf, the color gets darker and a little more dramatic. And I want you to color with the dark green all the way to the bottom. Now at the very bottom, we'll treat this with a little bit of black. Just a smidge. Okay, then back over with the dark green. And I'm going over the black as well to blend it. Let me get the Celadon green, and we'll start blending this all together. And again, I'm just going to feather this lightly up into the French gray, but I'm going to definitely be as dark as I can down here with the Celadon green. And lastly, the French gray. And there you go. All of your leaves will use that combo. Now the other thing is that for this combo, you can see here, 50% French gray is the outline for all the stems, but it's also the outline for all the leaves. So you would take your 50% French gray and just bring that over here and outline the outline of this leaf here. And just carry that, and you can carry it all the way down. It's also all of your stems, the 50% French gray. Super easy. So I'm just kind of lightly just mapping them in that color. So I'm not really coloring it, but you get the idea what I'm trying to do there. Okay, last, let's work on our background. I'll be right back. Okay, let's look at the background here for a little bit. So this is a 3-color combo, and then I'm also using black right along the edge of the stems and the petals of the background to give it kind of a shadowed appearance. But this is nothing more than just mixing these 3 colors together. We've got gray, green, light, pale sage, and jade green. So this is going to be just like how we colored the sky tutorial in the Hannah Carlson book with the strawberry page, I believe it was. So let me get started. I'm going to finish this area here for you, or do a little spot of it so you'll get the idea. So let me zoom in and we'll get started. Okay, now I have no rhyme or reason on where I'm putting each of the colors. So you can see here I've started already with a little bit of the jade green. So I'll probably carry that over a little bit more. And then I'll start with the pale sage. And I'm mostly using these 2 colors. When I want a spot to really be highlighted, I will bring in the gray, green, light. And I'll show you what that looks like in just a second. All right, back to jade green. And I will show you how I mix these shortly. I'm just blocking in a little color here. Okay, so now what I will do is I will come back in. I'm going to darken this a little bit with the jade green. Also down here. And then what I'm going to do is bring in the pale sage over that jade green. And you can see how that gives you a really pretty combo. And it doesn't make it look too stripy, or it makes it look a little more random than if you just blocked in the colors the way we had it and just left them without blending them. So I'm doing this kind of quickly, but you get the idea. Okay, next, I'm going to take my black pencil and I'm going to very lightly put a little bit of color like that up against the stem. And then also carefully around the flower petals here. Oh, I said carefully, but I'm not being very careful as I do this. Go slower than I am right now. Okay, so now I will come back with the jade green. And by the way, I find that for this kind of background, it works best for me when I get sort of a flat tip, not a sharp tip. So I'm going to come back in and color where that black line is and just blend it with the jade green. Okay, we didn't go out that far, but you can see how it just kind of gives the impression of a shadow. Then what I do last is I take my black pencil and I go back over the outline to give it kind of a stronger contrast. Oops, okay, so you get the idea there. Okay, so now let me show you what it looks like if I want to lighten a section with the gray-green light. And that might look like, and it's very subtle, it's not real obvious. You can see this lighten just a little bit, not too much. But you can see it there. So another place that I have it is right here. You can see it's just like the gray-green light with the pale sage. Yeah, to get that effect. So that's all there is to this background. I hope that makes sense. So with that, I think that's all I have for today for you guys. Again, I'm so sorry that it's been a while, but hopefully I'm back now. And I hope you enjoy this. And don't forget that this cheat sheet is a free download on my Ko-fi account. I'll leave the link on my YouTube description. And I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.